Mr. Chau, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Has Nokia essentially lost the plot?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to definitely have a very tough 2011. You're going to see people like Samsung especially really well positioned to compete against Nokia this year. They've come out with all these really, I guess, affordable Android and their own in-house operating system smartphones for the market, which, you know, they're going to come up and we're going to see them really gain market share against Nokia this year and probably through the first half of next.
Yeah, isn't it just Nokia being very slow in terms of not coming up with a competing product in essence, and we're looking at their Windows joint venture, not really going to make a big difference until, well, next year at the earliest?
Yeah, at the very earliest. I mean, the way that Nokia is aligning itself with Windows Phone, it might be great for developed markets because Windows Phone 7 is really a high-end phone right now. But when you're looking at most of Asia and emerging markets in particular, they're not going to be able to afford most of these phones. It's going to take them some time to figure out, well, how are we going to bring down all these features down into something that, if I'm only going to pay US $200 for a phone, it's not going to be a Windows Phone 7 handset to begin with.
Yeah, well, let's just also look at the other side of this market. It's also losing ground when it comes to the cheap end as well, and that, you know, that's the bread and butter to some extent.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think Nokia over the last couple of years, they've been a little bit slow when it comes to the one segment that's been growing like wildfire in Asia, and that's dual SIM phones. People are trying to, I guess, take advantage of low costs on different operators. So you might have low costs, you know, long distance on one, or, you know, cheap calls to friends on another, and then that has really driven low cost handsets from, well, mainly manufactured in China from smaller brands. Those guys have really taken up against Nokia over the last year, 2 years or so.
But you've got to worry about the supply chain here as well. Who's going to be affected most?
Affected most for Nokia?
Yes.
Or
for Nokia here.
Well, for Nokia, I think that you're going to see that they're going to have to cut down, you know, production. We're seeing that that's already happened at other big companies like Motorola or Sony Ericsson, where they had to scale down as they start to focus more on smartphones and less on, you know, the overall like total mobile phone market. So it won't be a surprise if they have to, you know, start cutting back on some of their production.
Okay, so when do you pencil in a recovery, if at all, for Nokia? You're saying at least not in the early part of next year, looking even further down the road, yeah?
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, but they'll probably start launching things, you know, at the end of the year into the first half of 2012. But in order for it to see an impact on Asia, that's going to be tied to when can they bring lower cost handsets. And I don't see that happening until maybe the second half of 2012.
Thank you very much indeed for that.